third down. And that is incomplete. The wideout, Chris Hogan, the intended receiver. Now fourth down.
The days of knowing your assignment, dropping to it, and calling it a day, that's over with. Because now, when you drop into a zone, especially as a defensive back, you're seeing the play in front of you. So if a man wanders into your area, guess what? Now it goes from zone to man-to-man coverage in many cases. And on this particular play, able to see the play in front of him, react to it, and knock the ball away. Gotta like what you did.
Looking for Amendola, and it's intercepted. The big fella. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. So they go on fourth down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
Now the Patriots gearing up to go now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
I want to sneak in a note here on the officials while time permits from the Super Bowl game. I know that you had high praise of them. Really, you know they did a good job when no one is talking about them on Monday.
You're exactly right. And, in fact, they're being praised almost universally for getting a couple of calls that were really difficult to make in real time correct. And I'm talking about the Julian Edelman catch. Emphatic that it was a catch. Replay confirmed it. And then, of course, the James White touchdown in overtime, because that was called a touchdown on the field. And, of course, they confirmed that one as well upstairs in the replay. But normally, these officials come together. They're an all-star crew. They don't work together as much during the season. But this one felt very cohesive. I thought they did a fantastic job.
And he finds Danny Amendola. There was some talk that Amendola might not play in the game, lingering ankle issue. Well, he played, and he had 78 yards, a touchdown, and the game-tying two-point conversion.
I went back to my notes prior to the game, and I had one that said, and this was from someone in the Patriots organization, never underestimate the connection Amendola has with his quarterback, Tom Brady. And that came to fruition in the Super Bowl, didn't it? And Danny Amendola was one of the smaller players on the field. But on that two-point conversion, how about that strength and determination to get in? Yeah, that was something.
Just getting across the chalk to tie it. Now Brady, caught, left side, Bennett. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And Larry apparently very brief in his report. Thanks anyway, my man, as we're already set for action. This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that.
And that's a good sign right there as we start the third quarter, because in the first half, not much space to run the football. And as we go into the half, we often think to ourselves, all right, what's the adjustment? What do they have to do? You know what a lot of the adjustments are? No adjustments. You know the game plan, been working on it all week. Maybe a little tweak here or there, a little bit better blocking, and now you're establishing the running game.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure, and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Shift together here from the D-line.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. But at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet.
Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. Got a man, it's Brown. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackle.
Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Duron Harmon. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Gronkowski, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Second down here after the incomplete pass. Play action. Now it's Brady. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Looking for his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski, and that'll make it 3rd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Brady going to throw. And he will find his man. That's Hogan, complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Back now in Pittsburgh. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They go play action here on 1st down. Now he'll let it go deep right side. Trying to squeeze it into Edelman, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's get back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to lead this for his running back. It's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it 3rd down.
All right, I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65.
We talk all the time about how important it is to have leverage in blocking. It's also a big part of policing up gaps. Did you move someone out of the A gap? Did you move them out of the B gap in order to create space for your guy to run? In this case, all those gaps were shut down.
Yeah, the movement was defensive, and they got him for a loss.
There's no doubt about it. That's just one of the best connections in the league. Big Ben throwing it to Antonio Brown, and Antonio Brown has turned himself into such a player, a low-round draft pick, but you can't beat his determination or work ethic, and Big Ben welcomes that.
And Big Ben won a Super Bowl at 23, youngest ever to do so, has never looked back. 2 Patriots there to bring him down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out. Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
He finds Coates complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Getting late in the fourth now, Charles. 2-minute warning just around the corner.
Yeah, some teams just want to get to that spot, take a breath, and then come out and attack for the rest of the game.
They'll come out in the pistol. They'll try and run some clock now with Bell. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And the 8th play on this drive coming up.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football.
Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Throwing now is Roethlisberger, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
Bryant, the lone receiver, left. 4th down. Here's Roethlisberger. Can't find anyone open. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Patriots defense is going to take over on downs. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. He's back to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. They'll look to throw. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. And a great spot to start this drive from here. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. So the chain gang now done for the drive. Ball on the 10, 1st and goal. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They'll try again with Bell. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here, not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well.
And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on.